Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's myself, the Full Fills, once again. We're coming back with another V system guide video. Today we're going to be covering G. If I show you guys, we've got G on the screen. Yeah, a lot of people have been requesting this, not in the YouTube comments, but outside of YouTube. A lot of people have been requesting this one. Today we're going to go through G, guys. We're going to go through G. So, which V trigger / V skill do I use against G? Okay. Against G, I go with V skill 1 and V trigger 2. V skill 1, V trigger 2. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly why. Alright? So, reason I use V trigger 2, first of all, is because V trigger 1 is very underwhelming. To show you guys why I use V trigger 2, I'm going to need to show you guys V trigger 1 first. So let me go back to V trigger 1. So V trigger 1 first was a projectile, right? Projectile. Now, the issue with V trigger 1 is that for V trigger 1 to be strong, the air shot needs to be good in the matchup. If air shot is not good in the matchup, V trigger 1 is generally not strong. It gets shut down pretty easily. So what I mean by that is if a character can completely shut down Falke's air shot, then the air shot no longer has enough value to play that matchup. So let me show you guys the answer that G has for air shot, right? If I activate V trigger, see that? That goes through the air shot. That goes through air shot. Now this is a huge problem because as we know, G is a 2-touch character. If G gets in on you once, he gets Oki after this, and then you have to guess for command grab and stuff. It's just not a situation you want to be in, to be honest. Even with V shift in the game now, you still don't want to be in those situations. So V trigger 1 is not that useful. You can still zone and stuff, but then the only way you use V skill 1 is like from all the way over here, and from there the G player will just see it coming. They'll just see it coming and it won't be as useful as what it could be if G didn't have that special move to go through it, right? So V trigger 1 in general, underwhelming, I feel, against G. So that's the first reason why I pick V trigger 2, right? Pick V trigger 2. Reason number 2. Alright, so V trigger 2 also does not change. It doesn't change Falke's game plan, right? The way you play with V trigger 2 is the same way you would play without any V trigger. You still use your normals. Forward hard punch is a very important normal in this matchup. You still use your normals. You still play your basic keep out game, your poking game. But when you have V trigger 2, the only thing that changes is the fact that you get follow-ups, you get better Oki when you actually land things, and you get bigger damage. So it's the same game plan, except when you land things, it leads into bigger damage, bigger conversions, bigger damage. And yeah, your game plan also does not change. So it doesn't affect how you have to play. You can play exactly the same way, except now you're getting better conversions and better Oki. So it's pretty much giving you a free buff to what you were already doing outside of V trigger. You just keep doing your thing, and V trigger 2 just follows you. It just buffs you. So that's another reason why I use V trigger 2 in this matchup. So move on to V skill 1. Now we have to remember V skill 1 changes when you have V trigger 2 activated. Okay, when you have V trigger 2 activated and you have V skill 1, V skill 1 now reflects fireballs back. It reflects projectiles back to the opponent. We have to remember that because that's important. Okay, the reason I use V skill 1 is because V skill 2 in this matchup is too situational. So if I go to V skill 2 real quick. Now we have G. Let me see if I have this set up. I don't have it set up. Let me set it up real quick. Let me set this up real quick. Okay. So the problem with V-Score 2 is too situational. G is a character that he has full screen special moves, such as his dash punches. He has full screen special moves. So if I just do this, right, in neutral, for example, do I have the wrong one on? Okay, here we go. So if I just want to do V-Skill 2, I would get punished on reaction to that from full screen. So I can't use V-Skill 2 as freely as I would want to use it against, for example, against some other characters from full screen. There's not much they can do about me simply just doing a V-Skill 2 like that. Whereas G can. So the only time I would have the opportunity to put out a V-Skill 2 is if, for example, I get anti-air and then I would do it. Or I get a target combo and then I would do it. But these are situational. It's not as free. You have to land the hit, or you always have to land the hit. You know? You don't get to put it out freely, which I don't like. I like being able to be free with Falke. So if I'm full screen, I don't like my opponent having the ability to just do something about it. So that's one reason why I don't use V-Score 2 in this matchup. I feel like G can just shut it down at long distances. Moving on. What did I have next? Right, so V-Skill 1, because when you have V-Trigger 2 activated, you can now reflect these. So G doesn't just get a free air projectile or grounded projectile to start pressure, to start getting in. G cannot just do that anymore. You have V-Skill. You can do that every time, which is really good. That's number one. You just shut down that whole approach. You just shut it down. So that's really good. So when G has V-Trigger 1, G pretty much still has to play the neutral the same way as if they didn't have V-Trigger. Because that's the difference. When he has V-Trigger 1, G players love to go for V-Skills to start their approach, so that they don't have to approach the matchup in a neutral aspect. They can just start stealing frames and just force their way in with that. However, Falke stops that from happening at full screen. Over here, you cannot react. For example, if you're here, there's not much you can do with your V-Skill. You can still walk underneath and get a punish and stuff. You can dash under. You can even DP and stuff. But max range, long distances, they can't just force their way in with that. So you shut that down already. It's reactable too. So that's why I picked V-Skill 1 for that matchup and V-Trigger 2. That does conclude it. That is pretty much my V-Trigger choice. So in conclusion, we'll go over it again. V-Trigger 2, it's really good. It buffs your character, more damage, better Oki. But the key thing is that you play the same game plan. It doesn't change the way Falke has to play in the matchup. V-Trigger 1 is pretty underwhelming because G doesn't have to deal with the air fireball when he has 1 bar of meter. V-Trigger 2 keeps the basic same game plan that you were already playing outside of V-Trigger. V-Skill 1 shuts down it shuts down G's V-Skill when he's got V-Trigger 1 on, and V-Skill 1. When he's got that combination, which is pretty much the combination of V-Trigger and V-Skill most G players go with, it shuts that down. He has to take a more honest approach instead of forcing their way in with V-Skills when they're in V-Trigger. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. That's my V-System choice against G. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully you can implement that into your gameplay. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube if you guys enjoy the content over here. Like the video, of course. Always comment down below which type of content you want to see from me, which character you want to see up here next. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.